That's you, Dave.
There we are. Live, season 2. What's going on, brother Kyle?
Trying to fill some big shoes for another guy.
Yeah. Yeah, we needed.
A little scary.
Yeah. Well, you've been here before. You've been on with us.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we everything, has been the last couple weeks leading up to the beginning of the season just been super chaotic, as you well know. So a lot of moving parts behind the scenes, and we figured we'd compile it all into 1 week of just a bunch of information for teams coming down the pipe. So we got a lot of that coming later in the show, but I think what everybody's probably got most on their mind is this coming weekend. I know you and I do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so Ryan Oneal, he's going to probably run us through the gauntlet, all the information we could hope for. So let's welcome Ryan on in. You think?
Yep. Ready to go.
How's it going, guys?
There he is.
Appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, man. How you, man? You got everything going? You on cruise control yet?
Definitely not cruise control. I won't be feeling good about myself till Sunday after it's all said and done. So yeah. So a lot of stuff going on this week. On this podcast, I've got another podcast coming up, and then I've got to meet with the Channel 2 News team on Thursday for an interview. So a lot of eyes on this event, and hoping for a really big turnout. So I appreciate you guys having me on and get some more eyes on it. But
yeah, man. Yeah. Well, last year was slamming, dude, and I mean, obviously, I had a great time. But just anybody you ask, the overall atmosphere, especially anybody from the area, just the vibe in Bloomfield on the square was 100% live.
Yeah, for sure. Year. Yeah, we heard great things about it. Everybody was excited to bring it back, obviously, and it's for a good cause, trying to revitalize downtown Bloomfield and this place where we all grew up. So let's make it a better place and continue on and bring some new things and get some new faces here. So we're excited. Cook-Off obviously sponsored by Owen County State Bank, but we've got a bunch of other great sponsors for the event. The Greene County Hospital is going to sponsor the stage and all the music that's going to be playing, and we had some other big time sponsors too that are just helping out with general cost of just how the day is going to go for us. So yeah, if you see the flyer, we got a bunch of local people, and that's the great thing about being in a small community. Everyone reaches out and everybody wants to help and make sure this thing goes off without a hitch. So
100%. Well, you guys have doubled up. I mean, everything. There's nobody. I mean, we all, I think, knew it was going to be a pretty cool event. I mean, especially right on the square. That's always drawn a lot of people, but I don't think anybody was ready. I mean, people's choice, food trucks, like everybody was at capacity for what they could handle. And from what I can tell, you guys have pretty much doubled up on everything this year.
Yeah, that's been the goal, especially on food trucks. Last year that was the one negative comment we heard. We didn't have enough food, and I was like, man, I had 5 trucks. I don't know how that wasn't enough. So, but yeah, some of our trucks were selling out like crazy. We had one guy have to shut down, catch his breath, go get some more supplies, open back up a little bit later in the evening. So obviously those are good problems to have for those guys, and we hope that people continue to support them, and that's the whole thing, get people out of the house. And last year was one of the first times, COVID had died off significantly at that point, and people were ready to get back out. So I'm hoping the word got spread and it gets even bigger. We ran a Facebook ad that had thousands and thousands of views on it. Obviously, you're not going to get the 52,000 people that you had view the post, but if you get I don't know, 10% of that, that's a big deal. So it's great to get people back to the community.
Yeah, I mean, you and I know, for you guys that don't know, Ryan and I both have food trucks. Ryan and them guys have very successful, long-term food business, and it's hard, man, for a food vendor at something like that. And Kyle has too. Kyle, you've vended just the same, man. You, especially barbecue, you don't know if you're going to need to cook for 500 people or 3,000. And last year, right. I mean, the crowd showed up. So I think they'll all be ready this year for sure.
Yeah, they've already. We had all kinds of food trucks hitting us up trying to get in this year, and I would love to get some more local guys in. And But we had people from Indianapolis writing us and Fort Wayne, a couple of people. So obviously, my goal is to keep things local. I like to support the local businesses and try to give back. So, but yeah, we've doubled up. We got eight total food trucks and beverage vendors. We're having 7 breweries and 2 wineries at the event, and about 14 craft vendors, and live music from 1 p.m. until 9 p.m. So it'll be happening on the square, and car cruising going on as well from 1 to 5. So anybody that's got cool car cruisers or classic cruisers, bring them out. And obviously the headliner is going to be the barbecue competition, and we've got 14 teams this year. Added a few more than last year, and hope to keep growing. I'd love to have to go to the town board and say, hey, I need double the street shut down because we've blown this thing up so big. So
amen, brother. Yeah, man. And that's what 14 teams, later turn-in times too. So we're going to do turn-ins later, keep barbecue teams around longer for everybody to kind of see that happening.
Right. Yeah. So 3:30 and 4 of the turn-in times. We've got 2 tables worth of judges. We've got my 12 judges, and those are based off the sponsorships. That was kind of the deal, and they give us big sponsorships. We provide them judges seats, and I've watched a ton of judging stuff recently and looked at the scorecards and things like that. That way, I'm prepared to kind of lead the charge on that and make sure they know what they're looking for and make sure they're doing it right. One thing we are asking all of our judges to provide comments back, no matter if it's the best barbecue they've ever had or the worst barbecue they've ever had, because we want people to leave Bloomfield saying, they ran a well organized event, and they gave us feedback on how we could get better or how we did. So great judges, and we're excited to host them as well. And People's Choice we've got going on too. I sent out that text to get people to sign up there. We took the first 8 people to respond to get into the People's Choice. That was a big deal for us last year. That's kind of our fundraiser for the event, and that was a huge help for us. We've got some long-term goals here to try to build a park and things like that on the square, and just any little amount, especially from the People's Choice, helped us out a bunch. So we're giving each of those 8 teams 2 pork butts and their generosity of cooking it for us, and then they'll be able to compete for a trophy as well. Obviously, cash prizes for the other categories, but a nice big trophy for the People's Choice.
What time is the turn-in and the run time for the People's Choice?
Yeah, so we are starting the People's Choice. I'm asking teams to provide the butts back to me at 11:30. And then we actually sold VIP tickets too as a fundraiser this year, where they get a certain amount of tastings from the breweries and wineries. They get guaranteed ticket to the People's Choice, a T-shirt, a tasting glass, and early access to the breweries and wineries as well. So we're going to serve that group of people from 12 to 12:30, and then as soon as we get all those guys through, hopefully by 12:30, we're going to kick off and start the general public sale for the People's Choice.
Nice, man. Yeah, that's what and teams that haven't been there, the layout's perfect. Bloomfield is such a cool town. First of all, you got all the amenities you could hope for. You got a DQ and chill down 2 blocks, and flat, nice asphalt everywhere. Some music, tons of food trucks. Booze. It really is, man. It's one that'll definitely be on our schedule every year for sure. And I think once teams start coming and trying, they're really gonna feel the same way. And you're adding some cash to the kitty this year, right? That's what Owen County State Bank.
Yep, they gave us $2,500 sponsorship for $2,000 worth of payouts and $500 worth of trophies. So the payouts will be based on that $2,000, and we'll provide the breakdown of that to all of the people that show up to the Cooks meeting. And most teams are going to roll in Friday night. Some are rolling in Saturday morning to get cooking. And we'll have the cook-off of the Cooks meeting relatively early Saturday morning once we get everybody in.
Nice, man. Yeah, last year, everything, teams like to come for that, great trophies and plaques last year. And when you add money to it, that's just going to swell the ranks for sure. So I think you're going to see us see it go up every year, man. You guys are doing
For
everything
sure.
right.
And we hope to grow the pot too, reach out to some more sponsors and, more teams we get, maybe that pot can grow a little bit too. So, like I said, a lot of it, this festival is a fundraiser for us, but at the same time, we're just trying to provide an overall great experience for everybody, whether they're music fans, barbecue fans, brewery fans, car cruising guys. We tried to give a little bit of everything back to this event. That way we could get every walk of life come through the door.
You guys got any raffles going on this year? You had some killer raffles last year.
We have the flyer here that I've got. So painting, Wyatt LeGrand painted this, a local artist. We're gonna get the painting from him and raffle it off this year.
Nice.
We didn't get a donation for a big pig like we had last year, unfortunately. But that's we're gonna work on getting maybe next year. We're hoping to get like a grill or something that way we can raffle off. But we're gonna have some other cool stuff going on. There's a lot of local businesses open on the square that are providing some like gift packages that if you go into their store and buy something, you get a raffle ticket. At the end of the night, we'll raffle that off. And so not a ton of raffles this year, but plenty for everybody to do.
And the People's Choice, was that Lighthouse? Did those guys donate to you guys this year again for that?
They're giving us a good deal on the pork butts, and they're two of my judges as well. Yeah,
Perfect.
Plug Matt and Dave over at the Lighthouse Custom Meats. Yeah, you gotta go check those guys out. Their bratwursts are top notch.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's another bunch of guys doing everything right.
Yeah, and they're the same way. They wanted to give back to the community, something we didn't have. So we're very thankful for them.
That's the thing, and a lot of people won't realize till they get there how much room you actually have to grow this thing. That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
He'd hope for another street to close. Like, sky's the limit. This thing could get up to 50, 60 teams if they would sign up.
If they really wanted to, we have an abundance of space. I've got to shutting the streets down, but they've been very giving thus far, so I wouldn't see that being a problem.
Yeah, what's good for this event's good for Bloomfield. I mean, that's
right.
Obvious. The whole Bloomfield downtown revitalization it's an awesome thing. If you guys haven't, people watching, if you haven't followed that page along with, all the competition stuff, make sure and do that. Keep an eye out and see what you're helping to do, man, because that's what we all talk about, going just like last weekend. I was at Hope. In 12 years, those guys have raised almost $70,000 for the little town of Hope, and it's it's smaller in Bloomfield. So I think you're going to do big things over the next decade or however long you keep this thing running,
Yeah, no, I don't have any end in sight for it. I want it to be a thing that goes on forever. My grandpa was one of the original guys on the Apple Festival board. So I've always prided myself on trying to give back. And, I planted my roots here in Bloomfield. I have a wife and a kid, and all my family's here. So there's no give up in me. I believe in Bloomfield probably a little too much, but it's we're trying to get it back to where it was.
Yeah, I mean, we're all the same, man. All us small town guys around here. I know Kyle feels that way about Ellettsville. I'm right here in Salisbury, man, where I started kicking dirt. So I love it. And most of the barbecue guys are like that. I think everybody.
For sure.
Loves helping the little towns, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
you're gonna have those 6 foot tall trophies again?
You got I told her I need the exact same style of trophies as last year. Everybody loved them. So
yeah,
they're pretty good when they're taller than Dave. So
yeah, Maureen at Main Street Sports does a great job with the trophy. She's never let me down. So she actually printed this shirt. It was last year's shirt. We've got a couple different shirts coming this year too. So we're very thankful for her. She never misses the deadline. She's always got my back. So.
Yeah, that's who I used for my event last November. I had to go down there twice because I screwed up somebody's first place award.
I think he's in the comments, isn't he? Over there, Jacob.
Yeah, there he is, right there.
Yeah, man. And stop one on the KBP series this year too. So points to get. I think, what do we got? Probably at least 4 or 5 teams from the series, I think, are making stop one here.
Yep. yeah, I've got to confirm with you guys on who all is on the series and things like that before we get kicked off. But yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of the names that you guys have mentioned that are going to be on the series that have signed up. So
Yeah. Yeah, and if you guys are in the series and aren't signed up for Stop One, man, better not let me and Kyle jump out ahead here. Might be tough to track us down. So, Ridge Bros, Jacob's coming. Who else? Goompas they're signed up for
yep,
the series this year. Heck, there might be 6 or 7 of us there, man.
I would say there's 5 already.
Yeah, maybe all locked up coming out of this thing. So,
Yeah, it'll be a good way to start off the year because pork is going to be very interesting, I think, with some guys continuing with the pork butts, but the pork belly options and pork chops or whatever. It'll be interesting
yeah,
to see what we get.
anything goes on pork. I don't
Yeah,
know, man.
I was excited to see that change. I thought that made it a little bit more interesting. Sorry, somebody just rode their Harley past my house.
I like it. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I'm still there's all kinds of things you could cook for pork. I mean, you really start getting into cuts of pork, man. There's some hidden gems, even past pork belly. So I ain't gonna say too much. I want to see what people start throwing out there, But there's some cuts that you could really get pretty tender, and tasting good.
Yeah.
But no ribs. You got rib category, but no ribs. So just to make sure everybody watching, we probably talk about it in Cook's meeting too, just to make sure. But ribs is in ribs. You can't use any kind of ribs in the pork category. That's the only stipulation.
Good times. Hey, Ryan, as a competitor who's going to show up early Saturday morning, is there a special route that we're all going to come in? I know last year we had to come in on a certain specific road and then flow down the main drag that we
Yeah,
were on.
yeah. So the goal is to get everybody to come. It just depends where you're coming from, how you get to this initial spot. But you're going to come in on Mechanic Street, and then you're going to want to head north on Franklin, and then back east on Spring Street. So that's the best route in because North Franklin so you guys are going to come in on the southern part of Franklin, then you're going to turn onto Spring. But a little farther on will be the food trucks, and they'll already be set up. So Saturday morning we won't really be able to get anybody in that way, but the other way will still be open. So come up. The public library is probably the best landmarker to if you're looking for a way to get in. Go to the public library, and then we can find you from there and make sure you get in. If anybody on here has any questions or anything, feel free to reach out to me. I've got my phone on me all the time, and I'll be up there all night. Friday. Friday's my son's first birthday, so it's Friday morning and afternoon is dedicated to him. And then I told my wife as soon as the streets closed, I gotta get up there and get rolling. So, but I'll have my phone on me if anybody has any questions. Streets close at around 4:30. Hopefully, the courthouse closes at 4, and we have to wait until all of those workers get their cars and get out of there. We don't want to get them blocked in. Last year, we had a couple of people get pretty frustrated with us that we'd close the roads before they got to leave work. So we've made sure that the courthouse knows this is going on, and they need to make sure the employees get out right at 4. So
Outstanding.
we're ready. We're ready to rock and roll.
Huh. You guys, can you still see me? Am I still here?
We can hear you, but your face is frozen.
You are frozen. Yep.
I don't know what's happening, man. I am getting a bunch of glitch.
Well, we can hear you just fine. We don't need to see your face move.
Yeah, it's probably better this way. It probably just the ratings probably just went up.
Yeah. Gain 3 more viewers.
Man.
So Ryan, did you get all 18? Did you get 18s for the pork butts?
Sorry, you glitched on me. What did you say?
Did you get an 18s out of the guys who were coming?
Yes, we did get
pork
all eight to sign up for the People's Choice. And I talked to Dave. I was a little worried that I wasn't going to get that with the later turn-in times. But no, everybody came through for us. And, there's still a significant amount of the teams rolling in on Friday night. I talked to Greg Lane this morning. He's going to roll in. He's bringing his big toy hauler. So he was he was trying to figure out when the streets closed so he could make sure he was one of the first in and get parked, and then everybody could kind of fill in around him. So, but yeah, no, we've got plenty of teams, and very thankful for that because, like I said, that's a fundraiser for us, and all that goes directly back to the community.
Yeah, those guys who show up early, just move them all down the road closer to the grandstand where the bands are playing, and then when I show up at 7, I can just pull off the highway there and park.
Yep, it'll be good. Yeah, I recommend people getting there early and getting next to the feed store team. Last year they had a couple kegs of beer that they were very willing to share. So if anybody likes craft beer, they were ready to party on Friday night.
Oh yeah.
There he is. He's back.
How's that? Better?
Looks good.
We can hear you and you're talking, so
yeah.
Good to go.
You guys got to get me on with that Curveball whiskey place.
Yeah, man. Actually, I will definitely have a bunch of samples down there this weekend.
Okay.
And they may even tag in between me and Kyle and the Ridge Bros there somewhere. They may send down a little street team to maybe do some swag. They're trying. See, this week's Memphis in May too, which you know they're all in for Memphis in May. But I'm like, don't forget about us. I'll for sure have a box. I'll have enough for a small crowd.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully they come down with enough for the big crowd. So
that'd be awesome. Yeah, I've seen and heard a lot of good things about them. So I'll be excited to link up with them.
Yeah, I'd say next year they're definitely going to be a bigger part of the series. And I mean, what they've already kind of done is made sure we had enough to, talk about them and everything. But, they're brand new, like a year old. I know they're working with another distributor. So there's a group called Midnight Moonshine. So they kind of do a lot of tandem work. We're going to be starting to see some of that come through too. So
cool.
That's a little, check them out too. Midnight Moonshine. They got a bunch of cool products. They're an older company. So, but Curveball, man, it's definitely come see me as soon as we pull in, and you'll be ready to talk about them on your first live stream for sure.
For sure. Awesome. Yeah, I look forward to it.
Hey Ryan, before you head off for your next business call, will you have something set up on Facebook to stream from your page for the awards?
I would like to do that. Yeah, last year we tried to do that, and someone's camera went down or something, so we didn't end up getting it streamed live. But one of the board members on our BDR group here, he's a photographer too, so he's got a little thimble that he's going to try to do some live stream type stuff and some video work. So, and that's always great for me to use, even for promoting the next event. I use a lot of last year's pictures and promo stuff, and trying to show, we had a really big crowd, and we can make it even bigger. So anything like that's great for us. So yeah, I would love to.
Sounds good.
And if you want to watch that, that should be on the Bloomfield Downtown Revitalization Facebook page. So just look us up on there. We're the one and only Bloomfield Downtown Revitalization that I've came across. So it's not too hard to find.
No, not at all.
Well, sweet, man.
Any last comments, Ryan? Like I said, I know you had another call you got to get.
Yeah, I got to jump on another call at 7:30. But no, I appreciate you guys having me and always supporting this event. And I'm looking forward to Friday night and Saturday. So we'll see everybody there. And anybody watching, tell your friends about it. Like I said, there's a little bit of stuff for everyone. Everyone enjoyed it last year, and all proceeds go back to our community. So we're thankful for anybody that shows up. So
cool.
That's all I've got. All right, signing off from the big city of Bloomfield.
All right, see you, man.
All right, guys, appreciate it.
All righty.
Good, man.
Ridge Bros are here.
Nice. Yeah.
Can't tell the logo is 2 fists bumping or 2 mugs of beer.
I think my screen just got incredibly smaller. I just logged out and logged back in on the iPhone, I guess, man. I'm going to have to get a dedicated computer. It wouldn't be What's the Rub if we didn't run through some technical difficulties on my end. So that's par for the course.
Yeah, that's some good stuff there. Follow the smoke.
Who's that? Says Facebook.
Yeah, it just says Facebook. That's all I can see on my end.
Well, thank you.
Well, I think you talked about kind of reminding everybody of the new rules.
Yeah.
Like from my vantage point, I really like the fact that we can trim at home because like I said, I'm going to show up Saturday morning, sleep in my own bed, um, and then like I said, you know, ribs are the only thing I usually trim and rub on site because I don't do anything special with them, other than make sure the membrane's off and whatnot. But for the pork option on here, I think guys could maybe go a little crazy on what they want to do beforehand.
Yeah.
Seasoning and injecting or marinating and brining or whatnot.
Yeah, man. It's pork is wide open this year, and and with chicken and stuff too. I mean, all of it you can season and dry rub anything at this point. So it's it's gonna be different. It's gonna be different than anything we're used to. So I'm pretty excited to see how it goes this year.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and there's there's another rule I was thinking of too that was kind of new. Obviously, we don't have brisket this year, so it's just chicken ribs in the open, pork category. Turn-ins are way later. So for like even me, I cook my pork low and slow. I'm not even going to put it on to probably 7 o'clock for me, for a 3:30 turn-in. So and that's rest and everything. I mean,
I
hot
think
and
I'm.
fast. You don't even have to get there till noon, do you? Lunchtime.
Yeah, I mean, I could show up at 8 o'clock and be fine.
Yeah, yeah,
Cooking at 300.
yeah. I mean, I don't. I don't know, man. Our smokers take a little while to warm up, so it'll be interesting to get. Hope last weekend it's a really late turn in too, like that. I think it's like 2 o'clock. It's about an hour ahead of everything we were doing, but it kind of was. It's just that one's always really weird for me because everything else has always been so mechanic. The times are usually 12 or 1, so moving to 3 o'clock will be interesting, man. I think
Oh
it'll
yeah.
be one of those little for everybody that doesn't follow a schedule closely. You're gonna have to try to do that a little more.
Yep. I think I read over the rules this afternoon just to check things. I think maybe that did not get out as much as the fact any type of barbecue smoker, gas, electric, whatnot is allowed um, from years past. I know last year's Bloomfield event, there was a teenage boy who was cooking on I think a gas or electric smoker,
Mm-hmm.
and he cooked every category in that guy too. So, like I
It
said, if a 13-year-old kid can come out to barbecue competition first ever, I think there's some grown men who could step it up this year to jump in the game. I mean, it's
yeah.
you got to get the experience. You got to jump in.
Was that about a 18-inch wide by maybe 30-inch tall unit that kid was cooking on? I mean, it
Yeah,
was nothing big.
yeah. But like I said, he went through it, did it all, and
Yeah.
I said, as I was hosting my event last November, I had got a lot of questions from teams and some people who, you know, this was their first competition. So, like I said, you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
And like I said, I just had the ribs and the chicken wings, made it simple for everybody.
Yeah.
And but 3 categories is not too tough to get into a Weber kettle. I know I've seen many guys do competitions with just 2 Weber kettles.
Yeah.
So it's possible. You just have to time everything out right.
There's guys that have done it on a single ugly drum smoker, man. Talking about 22 inches, of
Oh, yeah.
cook space there. That's and
Hopefully got 2 racks in there.
yeah, you mentioned wings, and that's something, I think people, chicken wise, you can cook thighs, legs, wings, you can cook breasts. I mean, there's really a lot of things you can do there too. So, um, I think we all have our opinions on it. I personally wouldn't try to do no white meat if it was me, but there's a lot of guys winning with wings lately at the pro level, even. So that's something I don't think I'm really ready to turn in yet either. But it's pretty neat to see those scoring well.
Yeah, one of the guys from the Heath Riles webpage that I now started following, it looked like he entered some wing. He won GC for the whole thing. I don't remember what he placed in chicken,
Yep.
but he posted all his turn-in boxes, and
Mhm.
his chicken was chicken wings.
Yeah, Sterling Smith from Luton Booty said he's been using them for like a year and a half. And I mean, they make them look really good. Guys ought to follow some of those and see what those guys are doing. I mean, it's mostly flats. I haven't seen anybody using drums, you know.
But Heath Riles will tell you drummies are for dummies.
Yeah, no kidding. I tell you. And then ribs, yeah, you know, baby backs or spares. Just no country style ribs. But that's, you know, that's, I don't know. You ever cook baby backs or do you just cook spares? I was, for a while there, I tried, you know, back and forth.
Well, I don't know if you remember me talking to you at the Washington Great Smoke Off. Is I usually cook baby backs at home. I If I'm practicing, you know, I tell you the truth, I don't practice a lot at home. I cook the way I want to cook for myself
Yep.
and my wife and daughter, and we usually cook a rack of baby backs because they're quicker cook time. There's not a whole bunch of leftover because my wife won't eat reheated ribs. So a rack of baby racks will, feed us all. And like I said, the bones could be a lot more interesting. You have to select the right ones in there. So I wasn't too put off when I saw that we were having rib or baby backs for that. I just know you don't get the uniform, turn in of the ribs there for the St. Louis style cut, which go into our last sponsor on the scroll there is Perry Fresh. Like I said, I'll be hitting up Walmart this week to get the pork items and the good old charcoal. I'll be one of our guests on the show said, mix in with your lump with your briquette. So I'll doing a mixture of both of that so I can not worry about, running out of heat at the end, which my brother has tried to kick me in the butt twice for in the last two events we've been at, where I'm just putting in because I don't want to have a whole bunch of charcoal, because I throw everything in the back of my truck and leave, So I don't want a whole bunch of extra hot charcoal I have to worry about. So, and he's always mad about that because he's like, "Well, just dump it out. We'll be fine."
Well, I mean, while we're plugging, Royal Oak, man, those supersize. That's what I've been doing in the K4L. Is really, man, I'm filling the whole thing up with, and it's overkill. It is, but I'm afraid that because I run 325 a lot. I just don't want to run out, so I'm filling it with that supersize, and then just that top layer with the lump to get that lump started really good, and then it does, man. I'm enjoying using those this year, and I mean Prairie Fresh too, man. I got to give a shout out. We had a pretty good weekend with Prairie Fresh. We used spare ribs, came in third place, which I was pretty glad. I cooked my rib. I talked to you and Charles. My ribs, I let them go a little farther than I wanted to, man. I cooked enough, and I got the best 8 that I was probably going to get, and that was it. And we managed to pull off third place, and then we scored a win in pork, man. So
You and pork, I tell you.
you're not buying Prairie Fresh, I'm telling you, man. I can't imagine. I've had good success with other stuff, but just consistently, great marbling all the way through. So,
Yep. Yeah, I learned a lot when they came onto the show one time and was talking about the different things you need to look for. So that was, I've been doing this for 10 years, and that's like, oh yeah, never really put it all together there until he said it.
yeah. Yeah, the color and like I said, knowing that it's a Duroc hybrid, I mean, at least knowing that there's Duroc in that lineage, you know, for a fraction of the price of, some, you know, purebred Duroc, I'm not missing it. I've actually cooked both, and I am great with what I'm pulling out of the all natural. Not even the prime, the all natural is great. So
Fun times. Yeah, I
yeah.
couldn't remember for any more of the rules that would be too crazy, other than I think we'll have just enough events as it is, but people have to declare if they want their points to go towards the series because it's your first 4. For those of you who haven't read the rules, it's your first 4 events. So it's possible that your fifth event, you might do better, or it's a place that's closer to you that you're going to go to, whereas the third or fourth event, might be a hit and miss. Because I know for me, the current date for everything with my daughter's birthday there on the hog days, I know I'm not going to that event, so I have to make sure I hit all the other events to be part of the 4 going into it. So for other guys who might have the luxury of going to more than 4 events, looking at you, Dave, you gotta pick and choose before time to make sure you're cooking for points for the series, or you're just there to play spoilers on everybody.
Yeah, I know for sure this year I'll miss Jennings County. I'll be out of the area for that. And actually, that's I'll talk about that just real quick too, since it's that same weekend. I'll be heading to Nashville for the Barbecue Country VIP show finale, big concert. They've still got VIP tickets. You can literally for $200 go down and watch the finale being filmed on set, and then get some VIP action at the concert the next night. So if you're not going to Jennings County, you might consider that. I think next Monday, the plan is to have Russ Lanham and Madison West. Russ is the show creator, and Madison West is kind of all the moving parts. So we're going to get them on and have them talk about it. And who knows? We might even try to talk them into maybe doing a giveaway. Maybe we can get them to give us a couple VIP tickets or something to give away. So no promises, but we'll work on them. We'll let them watch this and decide for themselves.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So for the future episodes, do you have anybody hooked up with the guest co-hosting people on board yet that you know of?
Yeah, we're just going to kind of run season 2 out. We might do some more pre-recorded stuff this season. We ended season 1 kind of abruptly because I know, the 3 of us were working on everything for the series, and it was really hard to hit those Monday 7:00 deadlines. Charles was always solid, but I would come sliding in sideways usually, and then if we'd have technical problems. So we're going to do a lot of live stuff in season 2. We're going to try to do some pre-recorded stuff. We're going to, Barbecue Country airs. The first episode is the 29th, I believe, of this month. So we want to get Russ and Madison. We may do them together. We may do them one after the other because, you got the actual party is June 3rd. So outside of that, we have plenty of people messaging. We got spice companies, sauce companies. We have a plethora of guests to choose from. We just kind of got to get everything scheduled out. So everything is still kind of pending.
Gotcha. So the Barbecue Country, is that off a certain TV channel again? What was it?
Yeah, Country Network. So it's it's an app on your Roku devices, any of your smart devices. So go download the Country Network. And if you're not familiar with the show we're talking about, they've taken 8 actual backyard cooks who have zero competition experience. They're literally Memorial Day heroes, And so they've paired those guys. That's 12 of them, I believe. And they've paired those with 12 very seasoned pit masters. A lot of people from Team Royal Oak. Harry Sue is going to be on the show. So a lot of really cool barbecue personalities. It's a competition type show, elimination style. So only one group will be left standing at the end. And so they said everything's been a great success so far. They're already working on season 2. So really excited to be seeing another good barbecue show on TV.
Oh yeah, gets everybody want to come out and do competition barbecue more. That's what got me into it. Barbecue Pitmaster season 1.
100%, man.
I was like, they will pay me money to turn in food.
Yeah, it takes one call to get you hooked.
Yeah. It's like I can do that.
Yeah, and I tell you, Russ Lanham, show creator, he was on Barbecue Pitmasters. Him and Big John Coon, I believe it's House of Q was the name of their team, and they had some pretty good success. They were on there 2 or 3 times throughout the All Stars and the. So John or Russ got to see all that, and he had this idea, for the show, and he went to Tommy Snyder, who's the CEO of the Country Network. Everybody loved it, and it's been awesome. They got a ton of good sponsors. Royal Oak is one of the main sponsors. Hassel Cattle Company. They got Yoder Smokers on there, and so. But we'll save some of that for us. We'll talk about all that stuff as it comes down. Just put it on your calendar and definitely put it on your list of shows to watch.
Good times. Sounds awesome. Well, we're at the 40-minute mark there, and I think we covered some of the newer basic rules and got Ryan to talk to us about the wonderful event he's getting to host this weekend. I can't wait to roll up at 7 a.m. and start cooking out of the back of my truck. I think I might have the fire going. I don't need to. I mean, like I said, when you cook at 300 degrees, you don't have to rush much.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Looking at the whole season. It's going to be great. So, teams, if you're not signed up, even if you don't make stop one, you know that doesn't, like we said, there's gonna only be 4, and then you go to the 5th finale. So, just because you miss stop one doesn't mean you can't still sign up and be a member of Kentuckiana Barbecue Pitmasters. Run for some Team of the Year points. I know right now we can confidently say that the winner's going to get at least $1,000. I can't say much more about the breakout beyond that. We have some cool ideas for Team of the Year. So, Team of the Year in each category. There'll be some cash. There'll be some prizes with all that stuff. So get signed up. Be the best $100 you've spent for a summer full of fun and camaraderie. So.
Gotcha. Outstanding. Well, Dave, look to see you face to face on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Like I said, don't take the first spot like you did last year, coming right off the highway there.
Yeah.
I might need that spot.
Well, like Ricky Bobby and Gerard Depardieu or whatever. Though I'm friendly today, on Saturday it'll be war.
All righty, my man.
All right, bro. Well, thanks for everything tonight, man, and I guess we'll see everybody next week then.
Oh wait, I gotta play our finale song here. We just gotta play us out here.
Yep.
There's too many bells and whistles for me to not to play with there.
That's right.
All right, everyone. Have a good evening, and I hope to see you all on Saturday in Bloomfield.
Yeah.
See ya.